Welcome guys, this week I'm bringing you some Battlefield 4 footage. So this week I thought I'd talk about some of the tactics and strategies that I use while I'm playing Battlefield, and specifically in Battlefield 4. So here, just started the match off, trying to go for C right now. When I move across the map, I'm always looking at the mini-map, trying to see if I can get the catch on people before they know where I am. So I'm just staying here trying to get C, and I get to rack up a kill there. So what I'm about to do here is something I think was really underutilized in the beta, is using those grates, those security gates, to shut off the enemy from trying to get into the C position. So those can be really useful to try to, they're not going to stop the enemies from trying to get to C, but it'll at least slow them down and give you time. So here I use the rocket launcher just to try to sort of flank these guys, get a few kills. Unfortunately, I wasn't watching my ammo count, and I actually ran out of ammo in everything, so I had these two guys that had minimal health, and I had no way of killing them. There I go, reload, and using those grates as cover, trying to stay behind them as much as possible. Okay. So I'm trying to stay in cover as much as I can. It's actually pretty difficult in this section, but I just end up trying to use this car as the best cover I can find. Luckily I'm able to get that kill assist, but then I fall to this other guy. My mistake being that I should have reloaded my primary, stayed in cover, and I probably would have been able to hold off at least a little bit longer against those three guys. Luckily I'm revived, as you can see. Stay prone, the enemy doesn't know I'm still there. That guy thinks that reviving his buddy is going to help him, but doesn't really work. Able to take the guy out that took me before, trying to make sure I land all my shots. Don't have that much ammo in a clip. I'm able to hold out a little bit here, but then this position will get overrun in just a sec. So I was able to get quite a few kills right off the bat at the start of the game. One of the mistakes I find myself making quite often is spawning right after I've died, just really anxious to get back in the fight, and there it is. There's what happens when you do that. You really, especially using the new Battlefield 4 respawn system, you really need to plan where you're spawning. Observe the player that you're spawning on, observe the point you're spawning on. Make sure it's not just going to be just overrun, and there I die again. Bummer, but at least I'm getting some kills and being aggressive. And this brings us something new I think that's important. As you can see, I'm now the last man in the squad, meaning I can't die or else I'll lose any of the field upgrade points I've received for the team or the team's received for me over the course of the game. So this is something that people really need to pay attention to, that when I was playing the beta they weren't as much. You need to be trying to get those field upgrades up as fast as possible. This guy misses the knife, gets shot. But the more that you know about these systems and how they work in the game, the better player you'll be. So right here I'm just trying to hold this position. I know they're trying to come and push, and I think I've got decent cover, but I'm going to be killed right now from some people on top of me. So that's something you really have to watch out for in this game, and something that I'm still having to get used to. People will be above you, and you need to be aware, especially in this domination map where people love to go up there and just sit up there and try to rack up as many kills as they can. So I know that guy is there. I looked at the kill cam. So here I'm going to try to flank around. This is where having good feel for the gun, knowing what its recoil spread is like, is really essential. So I just don't have that great of a position on him. I try to come around. Now you'll see there's a guy that's prone there, and I'm ignoring him for a reason. See, he doesn't know I'm there, and as you see, he still doesn't even know, even though I'm shooting right over his head. But that's where you always have to engage the person that's targeted you before you engage someone that doesn't have you targeted, even though it can be really tempting to just take out the person that's not paying attention. So I'm moving back. I'm trying to get on the roof now so that I can try to get a positional advantage over the enemy. They've already gotten two bases. Luckily we're still defending C, but it looks like it's being lost right now. So I'm coming over here. This is where you have to check your corners, and unfortunately I missed this guy that's right there. He's hiding right against that wall, and I die to him. So whenever you get on that roof, you need to be sure that the area is clear, or else you'll end up being caught off guard. So I'm going to spawn in here and try to flank around and get a better position, better shot on the enemy. And once again, this is where you can see the usefulness of having those grates down. The enemy team's making it harder for us to push on C. And those grates, as easy as they are to take out with an RPG, do make it more difficult and can act as a defensive mechanism to keep us back. So I try to turn it off so I can let our team in here, get a kill, and then I get overrun. But all is not lost. We made a dent in their defenses at C. So as I respawn in here, this brings up another point that I saw too many people doing in the beta, and that is staying prone like this guy. What is he doing? So the mistake I make next is spreading my fire between these two targets who come through that door. What I should have done is picked one and kept my fire on him and then gone to the next guy. Instead, I spread my fire and I end up dying. So I'm trying to hold B here. The best way I found to do that is to try to stick behind this pillar. If you can, try to just get up to that little nub of that blue wall-like thing there. So this pillar is usually the best place to take cover behind. So when I respawn in next, I'm trying to keep an eye on the ticket count, and we're down a considerable amount of tickets. There's not too much we can do at this point. I'm trying to take C while they're all busy fighting around B or so, try to sneak in behind, but I'm able to get a few people and even get a satisfying little multi-kill in there. So at this point, there's not too much more to show you in this video. The game ends pretty soon. You'll see a guy that really needs to work on his aim, and I'm able to take him out even though he sneaks up on me. But anyways, just to let you guys know, I've got a playthrough of Batman Arkham Origins coming soon once that game's released. Also, Assassin's Creed Black Flag comes out in 3 weeks. I'm going to be really excited to play that. Big Assassin's Creed fan. Lastly, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on Call of Duty Ghosts once that comes out. So like, comment, or subscribe. It all helps out. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.